Hey, what's up guys, it's DarkArmedDuelist, and I'm going to be taking a look at the Blue Eyes Chaos Max Dragon deck, and teaching you guys some combos that you need to know to play this deck. So without further ado, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell there so you can become part of the notification squad, and definitely check out the Patreon down in the description below for all those awesome rewards, like getting your name description in every single video, getting assigned cards in the mail, and even getting to request a deck profile every single month to our Patreon. So without further ado, let's get straight on into this one, guys. So for the first combo, guys, I'm going to show you guys how to OTK your opponent with this deck. And this is super easy to do and extremely consistent in this particular build. But if you guys would like to check out the deck profile, as always, for every test hand video, it is down in the description down below. But let's go ahead and take a look at our first combo. So for our first combo, it's super simple how to actually OTK the opponent, and it can be done with these three cards. And we have multiple ways to get to your copies of Chaos Max, a ritual spell, and a copy of Ibly. But Ibly is going to be the main way that you're actually going to be OTKing your opponent and making sure they have a monster with 0 defense on their field. So what we're going to do is actually normal summon out our copy of Ibly to our side of the field. Doesn't matter where you normal summon this card out to. We're immediately going to link it away for a copy of Salamangreat Alamirage. Once we summon out our copy of Alamirage, Ibly's effect is going to go off and actually go to the opponent's side of the field in defense position, which is really cool that the opponent will actually get the copy of Ibly. Now this is now on the opponent's side of the field, no longer on our side of the field, so they have a monster that has 0 defense points on the field. So if we're going second, we now have all the requirements to OTK the opponent, and we're going to go ahead and activate Advanced Ritual Art, sending from our deck to the graveyard a copy of Blue Eyes White Dragon to be able to summon out our copy of Blue Eyes Chaos Max Dragon. Again, it doesn't matter where you summon out this card, it just matters that it's on the field. So at this point, we can go ahead and attack with our copy of Blue Eyes Chaos Max Dragon into the copy of Ibly, and since Blue Eyes Chaos Max does double piercing damage when it attacks into an opponent's monster, it's actually going to do 8,000 points of damage, OTKing the opponent. This deck makes it super easy to OTK with the amount of searchers that we're playing in this build. And it's really amazing how many searchers you can actually fit into this one deck and how they're all pretty much interchangeable with one another. For example, I've laid out the best searchers for this particular deck, and I'm going to show you guys exactly how to OTK your opponent and what each one of them can actually search. But the cool thing about this is you can actually interchange them out a little bit. For example, your copy of Map can be changed out for a copy of Cyanide Mining, because we're going to use this card to be able to get directly to our copy of Ibly. Extra Foolish Burial can be changed out for any incantation as long as you have a ritual monster or ritual spell that works with that incantation, and your copy of Nadir's Servant can search out a Dogmatic card but is also interchangeable with any other incantation, which is really cool. But this card also gets you to a Dogmatica card and a ritual monster or a ritual spell, whichever one you don't have, to OTK the opponent. So let's go ahead and take a look at this combo. So what we're going to do is activate the copy of Map and then immediately get to our copy of our Ibly, which is going to help us out a lot in the long term, but you have to activate Map first. That is extremely important about this deck. Now the cool thing about Map is it does take half your life points to activate, and it does have to be the very first card that you activate, but that's totally fine because we're getting to a key combo piece for this deck. Now I usually go ahead and normal summon out the copy of Ibly, link it away for a copy of Alamirage because it was normal summoned out to my side of the field and it does have less than 1,000 attack points. This will also give the copy of Ibly to the opponent just like in combo 1. Then we can activate the copy of Extra Foolish Burial, which will send from our extra deck to the graveyard a copy of Herald of Arclight, which will then let us add from our deck to our hand a copy of our Blue Eyes Chaos Max. Because the copy of Herald of Arclight touches the graveyard, you actually get to search a ritual monster or a ritual spell from deck to hand. We then can activate the copy of Nadir's Servant in our hand to be able to send an additional copy of Herald of Arclight from our extra deck to the graveyard to be able to search a monster with less attack points than the monster we sent from our extra deck to the graveyard. So we're going to search out a copy of a White Knight of Dogmatica. Now this is really helpful to be able to get to this card because your copy of Herald of Arclight just touched the graveyard, so you'll actually get a search of an additional ritual card or ritual spell or ritual monster, whichever one you need and you don't already have. So since we have the copy of Blue Eyes Chaos Max in our opening hand, it depends on what you want to do. If you're going first, you can put the copy of White Knight of Dogmatica Mecha on your side of the field, or you can go ahead and activate the copy of Advanced Ritual Art to be able to put your copy of Blue Eyes Chaos Max on the field. Both of these are level 8, which is why they're interchangeable, and I really like them in this build. So we're going to go ahead and use the effect of Advanced Ritual Art to send a Blue Eyes White Dragon from our deck to the graveyard, which is a level 8, so we can summon out our copy of Blue Eyes Chaos Max Dragon, and then if we're going second, we can just OTK the opponent by attacking into the Ibli, just like in Combo 1. Let's take a look at how powerful the incantations are in this deck. So, for this one, we're going to start out with a copy of Talismandra, Blue Eyes Chaos Max, and an Ibli, and as you guys can already see, we have 2 of the 3 combo pieces that you need to OTK the opponent. We have a copy of Ibli, our Ritual Monster, which is our Chaos Max, and we're missing our Ritual Spell. So how are we going to get to it? Through our incantations. The incantations can search your ritual spells or your ritual monsters, so let's take a quick look at how we're going to do that. So something important to note while you're playing this deck is that you always want to normal summon out your copy of Ibli first, because cards like your incantations and Nadir Servant will lock you out of the extract, either while they're on the field in the case of the incantations, or Nadir Servant will lock you out for the rest of the turn from the extract. So I always like to normal summon out my copy of Ibli first to guarantee that I'm going to get the play off. So I'm going to go ahead and link away the copy of Ibli that we just normal summoned out to our side of the field for a copy of Alamirage, and then give the copy of Ibli to the opponent because we did link it away. So at this point, we're going to go ahead and use the copy of our Talismandra to be able to reveal in our hand with the copy of Chaos Max, showing both of these cards to the opponent. Now at this point, we're going to special summon out our copy of our Talismandra to our side of the field, and then special summon an additional incantation from our deck to our side of the field, which is going to be our copy of our Kandal. Now this is really important because once we summon out our copy of Kandal to our side of the field, we can actually use the ability of the Kandal to be able to search from our deck to our hand a copy of Advanced Ritual Art, which is really good to be able to just immediately get that card to our hand, because now we can summon Chaos Max. So at this point, we're going to go ahead and use the copy of Advanced Ritual Art to send our copy of Blue Eyes White Dragon from our extract or from our main deck to the graveyard, and then summon out a copy of Blue Eyes Chaos Max Dragon, which now we can OTK the opponent. We do have a little bit of protection if we don't get the OTK off with the copies of our incantations being 2 monsters on our side of the field, but usually at this point we're going to OTK by just attacking into the Ibli like before to do 8k damage. Let's take a look at my personal favorite hand for this deck, which is a copy of Chaos Dragon, Chaos Max, Ways to Summon Them, and a copy of Ibli, which is really one of the best hands that this deck can actually pull out, because even if your opponent has multiple monsters on the field and their life points are above 8,000, you can still usually OTK with this hand. So let's take a look at what you do with this particular hand. So what we're going to do is normal summon out the copy of Ibli, which is always what I start with this deck. Link away the copy of Ibli for a copy of Alamirage, which is very important for this particular deck. Now the copy of Ibli will become the opponent's. Now at this point, I'm going to go ahead and Advanced Ritual Art my copy of Blue Eyes White Dragon from the deck and send that card to the graveyard to summon out a copy of Blue Eyes Chaos Max. Now at this point, I'm going to go ahead and use the Chaos form to be able to banish from the graveyard Blue Eyes White Dragon to summon out a copy of Blue Eyes Chaos Dragon, getting both of our boss monsters on our side of the field. Now the really cool thing about Blue Eyes Chaos Dragon is if you use a Blue Eyes White Dragon to summon out this card, it gains some bonus effects that when an attack is declared, you can change the battle positions of as many monsters that your opponent controls as possible, and if you do, the attacking events of those changed monsters become 0. Also, this turn, if this card attacks a defensive monster, inflict piercing damage, which is an awesome effect for this card to have. So at this point, I usually just go into battle phase, swing into the copy of Ibli so it doesn't get changed to attack position, do 8k damage, and then swing into something else, or swing just directly with a copy of Blue Eyes Chaos Dragon, being able to do upwards of 11,000 damage with these 2 attacks. Let's put all those combos together, guys, and show you how easy it is to OTK with this deck. So let's give the deck a quick shuffle and see what we can do with this deck. This deck is extremely consistent, which is amazing to be able to just OTK the opponent. So let's go ahead and draw 5 random cards and see what we can do with this deck. So we're going to draw into a copy of Cyanide Mining, a copy of Ecclesia, Chaos Max, Chaos Form, and Advanced Ritual Art. This is perfect to be able to OTK the opponent, so let's go ahead and do it. We're going to go ahead and activate a Cyanide Mining, sending from our hand to the graveyard a copy of Ecclesia. You could send your copy of Chaos form if you want to, but I'm going to go ahead and send Ecclesia. Once we do, we're going to go ahead and add from deck to hand a copy of our Ibli because she is a Cyverse monster. So once we do, we're going to go ahead and send that Cyanide Mining to the graveyard, normal summon out our copy of Ibli, link her away for our Alamirage, give that copy of Ibli to the opponent because she was linked away, activate Advanced Ritual Art, and then send a Blue Eyes White Dragon to the graveyard. The one and only Blue Eyes White Dragon. Then we're going to open the gateway to Chaos and summon out our copy of our Blue Eyes Chaos Max, which is going to be an OTK because we can just attack into the opponent's monster, which is the copy of the Ibli that we gave them that has 0 defense points to OTK, which makes it extremely easy with this deck to be able to OTK the opponent. Our next card is a copy of Chaos Dragon, which already sets us up for the next play because we can activate the copy of Chaos form during the following turn when we draw, which the copy of the Chaos Max or the Chaos Dragon will be what we draw. And then we're going to go ahead and activate the Chaos form by banishing from our graveyard the copy of Blue Eyes White Dragon to summon out the Blue Eyes Chaos Dragon. So now we have 2 really big dragons on the field to be able to OTK the opponent if we couldn't get through with the Ibli to OTK, which is amazing just how easy it is to OTK with this deck. So that's going to do it for this one, guys. This deck is super fun to play, as you guys can see. It's amazing how easy it is to OTK the opponent with this particular deck. And it's just really cool how cool this deck is, summoning out your copy of Blue Eyes Chaos Max. So, anyways, guys, this is DarkArmedDuelist. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell there so you can become part of the notification squad, and we'll see you guys in the next video. See you later, guys.